What's up, everybody? It's Keefy, Late Night Keefy. I'm trying out a new camera angle. So anybody not watching on TikTok, take a look at this and tell me, is my face too close? Extreme close-up! Whoa! Extreme close-up. Late Night Keefy here with a live stream. I thought I would jump on. Dillinger's here. What up, brother? How are you doing? Good to see you. I am here. I'm Keefy of GhostCultMag.com. If you're new here, then get familiar. Feel free to give us a like and a subscribe at the very least. We appreciate it. We do accept all forms of tips. And we are not corporate backed, but we are your 24/7, 365 news foundation, news company. We interview bands all over the world. We break news. We cover metal festivals and concerts all the time, every week, 52 weeks a year. That's what we do. Somehow doing it not with a corporate backing, but I'm here. Hearthstone Sanctuary passed by on Instagram. That is a great organization we like. We'll drop the tip menu for those that are here. And let's see if I can get it out here on the Instagram and the good old TikTok. Let's see. How's everybody doing? Like right off the bat, this is as much as I'm gonna pontificate a little bit. Drop a comment and tell me how you feel about this Rush comeback. Is it good? Is it not good? Do you have mixed emotions about it? Let me know. Rush is back. I love it, but I have questions. I have questions too. I am a massive Rush fan. Rush was my first big rock concert. I went to many concerts as a little shaver, but Rush was my big first concert ever. Juggernaut passed by. What up, son? Ghost Cultist. You're up very late. Hayden Crawford is also here. You know, Rush was one of my first favorite bands. One of the I have some patches left over from like the 80s that are on my battle vest, and one of them is a Rush patch. Which is, you know, it's kind of wild. I'll talk all about my relationship to the band. And yeah, let's see if it'll pin it. Pin the comment. All right. Sermon of Flies is also here. What's up, Sermon of Flies? So yeah, man, I wanted to talk about Rush, and I wanted to jump on. I almost jumped on to do it last night, but I wasn't quite ready. Oh, I see I have to move this guy. Let's see if we can change the layout a little. All right, I'll put it over here. Hopefully this looks somewhat cool. Not sure. All right, we got some good people watching here. We appreciate it. All right. I moved the thing. Let's see if the orientation is solid here. So anyway, I wanted to jump on and talk about Rush coming back because I think it's inherently super interesting. You know, not sure. There are a lot of bands. You know, out there with no real original members. We talk a lot on the Glacial Musical Podcast, my other podcast, about Foreigner. And Foreigner, you know, if they don't have Mick Jones and they don't really have Lou Graham except for a handful of shows, and they don't have Kelly Hansen, who's been the guy for years and years, do people still want to go see them? I think people do, especially the Casino thing. Quiet Riot has no original members. It's nice that they have Rudy Sarzo, and it's nice that they have, you know, Carlos Cavazo has come back, but from time to time. But like, you know, Frankie Benali, who kept that band going for a long time, and he was not an original member. His desire, his lasting wish was for the band to continue. So Love the drummer choice. She's fantastic. Do a brief tour of North America, Europe, no albums. I have many thoughts. I think she is fantastic. We will talk about her in a second. So just some housekeeping. Here's the preview. I'll be back Thursday night with my regular weekly live stream, the Weekly Ritual. It's also a podcast. The Glacially Musical Podcast is another podcast I just mentioned that I do. But yeah, I guess this thing is not working too good for people. It's not covering me. So, all right. But futz with this layout a little bit more. Maybe I'll put it down here. I don't know. I don't know if I like it. I'm just messing with it. But a new camera angle has facilitated the move of the thing. Probably go back to the other camera angle. I might jump on tomorrow if I get a chance to watch the Ozzy documentary. I might watch it tonight, write my review, and then jump on and do a live stream tomorrow. So, but that's pending time. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, a couple of band interviews, the other podcast I record. Lots to do. So I'll be back Thursday night with my regular show, Thursday afternoon. I did a recent live stream about Metallica getting snubbed for the Super Bowl again. Thanks so much for sharing, Sermon of Flies. I appreciate you. Pacific Northwest Low Tide Ride is here, or RID. So Rush for the first time on Counterports. That's sick, dude. And we did another live stream where I did a bunch of concert reviews. I just thought it was a fun idea since I had seen 3 shows in a row. More or less 3 shows in like 4 weeks, so I wanted to review them all. I just posted my Baroness review on the website at ghostcultmag.com, which you can check out. And again, in case you're interested and you're in the LA area or within striking distance, Sermon of Flies, we're legendary. Thank you, man. If you're in the LA area and you like the Cult and Death Cult, we are giving away tickets to see the Cult, Death Cult, Failure, and Patriarchy, all at the Tetragram Ballroom, sorry, I can't speak words, Tetragram Ballroom on October 30th. You can sign up at the link in our description. So Rush, man, why are they back? Why are they coming back? Why is this, is it good? Is it bad? Is it important? What is going on? Obviously, Neil Peart, who was not a founding member either, by the way, but was their, longest serving drummer and obviously drove a lot of the band's ethos. He wrote a lot of their lyrics. Personally speaking, the libertarianism is not for me. So there's definitely a lot of songs that as I get older, I'm like, ew, these are not good topics. Neil himself, as well-traveled and world-traveled as he was, I highly recommend his diaries about his motorcycle travels and stuff. He did have a certain kind of upbringing, and then he saw the rest of the world. And I don't know if that changed his vibe or his views on things, but thinking about the songs that I loved as a kid, and I love the music, lyrically, not totally for me, but there's a lot of bands that I don't care for their lyrics. But Neil was great. Rush was great, right? They were incredible. They actually started off sounding a lot like a Led Zeppelin clone and not well received. And then when they did their second, everybody knows John Rutsey was the original drummer, and he got too kind of ill from, he was dealing with sort of the road and illness and really wasn't up to playing anymore. So I thought it was inherently interesting to just jump on. And why did Rush come back? What is the Rush comeback about? Is there going to be more than just what's been announced? I think it's super interesting, to say the least. Joss has also passed by. Thanks. Feel free to drop us some hearts or some gifts or a tip. Anybody that's watching, I do appreciate you. Thanks so much for being here. It's a little later than normal, which is one of those days where I just could not get it together earlier. Anywho, Rush, why are they back? We're about to just unpack it all. The statement, who Anika Niles is, like what this tour is going to look like. How long did they know? A lot of things. So let's talk about it in a second. Once again, there's the tip reminder. If you feel like giving us a tip, I appreciate it. Not my real ones or my regular ones, but anybody else that's new, feel free to drop us a tip. And again, we are going to be launching channel memberships for our YouTube as well as our mailing list soon, this week. Our anniversary is technically tomorrow, by the way. We're about to turn 13, the big 1-3. Thanks, Corbin Griffiths. I appreciate you. Deborah Miller is here. Tomorrow is the big day. We might have a big announcement. We'll see. So yeah, man. Neil Peart passed away. It's almost 6 years coming up in January, and I think about the end of the band a lot because no one really saw it coming. Neil was intensely private, and he kept it to himself what he was dealing with, his illness. I did not see the Rush 40 tour. I considered it, and I think I was having a very up and down, spotty personal year in 2020, 2016. And it did not occur to me that they would never come back again. So I was like, yeah, next year from now, I'll be all, back to normal and I can get out there and go see them. And then they never came back. And about 2 years later, Alex Lifeson was giving an interview somewhere and he said, yeah, I think the band is basically done. I don't think we're coming back. And then in 2019, there was a lot of speculation and rumors coming out about Neil being in bad health. Rush tickets for these upcoming shows you suspect will be astronomical, Dillinger. I know they will be astronomical. And fucking Ticketmaster, having these are all Ticketmaster venues, these arenas. So Neil officially announced his retirement from Rush on December 7th, 2019. Little did we know what a terrible year was right around the corner. And he passed away basically a month later. And he had been passed away for a few days before they told anybody, before the announcement was made. The family was given time to grieve and deal with this. And you have to give respect there. I understand why. Why the respect factor was there and what that was about. Thank you, man. Thank you. So Neil passes away. It's devastating. This is how we started 2020, before we even knew what the pandemic was. And Neil dies. He had brain cancer for a long time. I do not like people like Sammy Hagar and Sully Erna of Godsmack talking about him in that period of time. If he meant to have a private time and do a private thing for himself, which was to suffer not publicly and not be in front of everybody and not have to, do the thing. After seeing some of his peers pass away, I respect that. And I don't think I would, if I had those intimate private moments with him when he was not well or his best, I wouldn't be bragging about it or sharing it. I would be protecting it. But that's me. And Sammy Hagar is a well-known douche canoe, and honestly, Sully is too. So I understand that they're very heavily in. I've seen Sully Erna cover Rush songs in the drum solo of Godsmack shows. Sammy Hagar, if I live long enough, I hopefully never hear him in person ever again on purpose. So Neil dies, and the band is presumed done. And it's coming up on 6 years, which now makes it almost 10 years since their last show. And in the meantime, Geddy has put out a bass album, wrote his book, which I highly recommend. The book is My Effin' Life. It is highly compelling, even if you're not a Rush fan. It is, first of all, the whole beginning of the book is like a bit of North American history. It's his family history that kind of shaped him to be the person he is. And then the rest of it is the Rush history. So, yeah, and Portnoy also, and he's been a little more respectful, I think, in talking about Neil, right? He hasn't been, like, divulging stuff. I just don't like the idea of, Chris, thanks for following. We'll follow you back right after Midtown Girlies. Hero is also passed by. Treebeard, what up? Cody Rife is here. Riffy. But thanks, Chris. I appreciate the follow. So, yeah, man, he suffered a lot. It was really bad to the end, similar to Eddie Van Halen, just kind of gone. And he died, and the band put out a statement. Gary Collingwood says, Taylor Swift is Satan. Ha 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 ha. I mean, if she's Satan, then let's welcome the Dark Lord with abandon. I listened to a little bit of the new Taylor Swift record. There were like 2 or 3 songs that were bops, and the rest was meh to me, but I am not the audience she's making music for. So, anyhow, #1 record in the world, though. No Tool record to come knock her out of the spot this time, like last time. Anyway, so Neil passes away. It's assumed that Rush is never going to play again. Alex has a new band, Eon, Envy of None, or Envy of No One. I don't remember. Maybe it's Envy of None. And it's kind of progressive rock. with a little bit of heaviness. It's actually pretty good. Getty's solo record was, of course, understandably great. And, Rush announced like a Rush 50. There's been Rush uh, books and Rush deluxe album reissues, like the Signals box set. I am a sucker. I loved original Rush, man. I learned 2112 like every teenage progressive rock nerd bassist. And, I can play Tom Sawyer a little bit. I really love Hemispheres and Signals and things like that, and Moving Pictures records that people don't necessarily cite as their favorite Rush records. I did see Primus perform all of Moving Pictures live at the Greek in Berkeley, which was fucking unbelievable. Les came out with the kimono that Geddy used to wear and a Rickenbacker bass, his first bass that was bought because Geddy Lee played a black Rickenbacker with the white pickguard, the Lemmy bass, basically. And, there've been a lot of tributes to Rush during the pandemic. There was a lot of Rush covers out, right? I know Dave Grohl used to do his like Hanukkah series, and he did a couple of Rush covers. So it was assumed the band was done until the other day when we got this press release. I didn't know it was coming. I think they were being very coy about it. A couple of my friends have said to me privately, hey Bird, welcome back. A couple of my friends have said to me privately that like maybe they were being coy for the last couple of years. I mean, it'd be fun if we played together again. Boy, I miss those songs. Boy, I miss playing with that guy. Maybe this was all like a long con to get us hoping they would do something and then have them announce it. But whatever, they're back. And so this here's the press release comes out. And I'm gonna just read from the post at ghostcoldmag.com. Rush to Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson reunite as Rush. They are Rush, right? They're no less Rush because Neil is dead, unfortunately. Announced 2026 tour dates to celebrate 50 plus years of Rush music with a new drummer. I felt that was the least clickbaity title I could go with. You tell me. Again, anybody in the comments, if you've got an opinion about whether Rush should be back or not, let us know. Young Gun is here. What up, bro? Young Gun. So what else, man? This whole thing took me by surprise. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees and Grammy Award nominated icons and Rush co-founders Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson have announced they return to the stage for a very special 2026 headline tour, 50-something, in celebration of Rush's music, legacy, and the life of late drummer and lyricist Neil Peart. It notably marks the first time Lee and Lifeson have toured together in 11 years since the finale of the Rush R40 tour on August 1st, 2015. So 2015, excuse me. At the Forum in Los Angeles, California, bringing it full circle with a return to the Forum to embark upon these special shows. The fan presale is live right now, with the general on sale live at October 17th at the links below in our post. The band has announced German Anika Niles as the drummer for the tour. I'll tell you all about her when we get to it. And there's an Instagram post if you want to follow her. She's got like she's got 1 million followers on YouTube, and I think she's got like 350,000 followers on Instagram. Of the tour, Geddy Lee says it's been over 10 years since Alex and I have performed the music of Rush alongside our fallen bandmate and friend Neil. A lifetime's worth of songs that we have put our cumulative hearts and souls into writing, recording, and playing together on stage. And so after all that has gone down since that last show, Alex and I have done some serious soul searching and come to the decision that we fucking miss it, and that it is time for a celebration of 50-something years of Rush. So in 2026, my BFF Lurks, aka Alex Lifeson, and I are going to hit the road once again to pay tribute to our past, to Neil, by performing a vast selection of Rush songs in a handful of cities. No small task, because as we all know, Neil was irreplaceable. Yes, life is full of surprises, and we've been introduced to another remarkable person, an incredible drummer musician who's adding another chapter to our story while continuing her own fascinating musical journey. Her name is Anika Niles. And we could not be more excited to introduce her and to our loyal and dedicated Rush fan base, who we know will give her every chance to live up to the near impossible role. Before we hit the stage, we also hope to add another musician or two to expand our sound a wee bit and free up Alex and I in order to show off some of our new fancy dance steps. I read that as either an additional guitar player or a keyboard player. Dillinger says, to be honest, I really thought Todd Sugarman of Styx, Neil's best friend, was a shoo-in. I will tell you, I had many thoughts. Hold it another few minutes. I got thoughts. So, Lyrics, Anika, and myself, and many longstanding crew members have been hard at work rehearsing and designing the kind of Rush shows you've grown accustomed to expect from us. We dearly hope you will come along and help us celebrate our history together. Now, Neil's widow and daughter are the executors of Neil's estate, and they had to have a say in this, whether it was allowed or not. So they made a statement. We are thrilled to support the 50-something tour celebrating a band whose music has resonated and inspired fans for generations, and to honor Neil's extraordinary legacy as both a drummer and lyricist. Neil's musicianship was singular. Compositions of intricacy and power that expanded what rhythm itself could express. As both a drummer and lyricist, he was irreplaceable, inimitable in his artistry, and unmatched in the depth of imagination he brought to the lyrics that inspired and moved so many. He profoundly shaped how fans connected with him and the band, giving voice and meaning to their own lives. As the band enters this new chapter, it promises to be truly unforgettable, and we are excited to see how their new vision unfolds and to hear this legendary music played live once again. And then, so the dates. Let's talk about a handful of tour dates as Getty described them. 50-something tour 2026. So these are the dates. And they also had a video of them awkwardly rehearsing and being like, you think we should go out on tour? Should we go? Should we do it? It was cute. It was nice. And then they showed the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction speech, which was cool. So, very nice. Last night, the band celebrated in a private event at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland with this on-stage Q&A. That was cool. And Rush will perform multiple shows in 7 cities across Canada, the United States, and Mexico, beginning June 7th, 2026 at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles. I might like to go to that. These special evening with shows will find the band playing 2 sets each night, so no opening band. Each show will feature a distinct selection of songs, and Rush will build each night's set list from a catalog of 35 songs, including their greatest hits and fan favorites. For 50-something, Lee and Lifeson will be accompanied by German drummer, composer, and producer Anika Niles, who has performed as Jeff Beck's drummer for over 60 shows and released 4 albums. We know that Jeff passed away not too long ago also. So that's a great pedigree. Anika is just a little bit about her. I'll get into it in a second. I do want to just talk about these dates and shows. June 7th and 9th in the Kia Forum. Notice the days splitting them. Mexico City, 1 show. June 18th at the Mexico Palacio de la Deportes. 2 shows in Fort Worth, Texas at Dickies Arena in the Dallas area. Chicago United Center, home of your Chicago Bulls and Blackhawks. Madison Square Garden, where they made, their biggest splash ever in America, July 28th and 30th. And 2 hometown shows in Toronto, Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. At least it's not the Rogers Center, right? And then Cleveland, Ohio at the Rocket Arena. Rush just recently announced their 50-track deluxe anthology, Rush 50. Rolling Stone called it an epic saga. And that is a Super Deluxe Fan Edition, many editions, basically. Super Deluxe Fan Edition, Rush Store Exclusive Super Edition, 7 LP Deluxe Edition, 4 CD Digital Deluxe Edition, and a Digital Edition streaming. So, and does have the final recorded song ever by Lee, Lifeson, and Peart playing together to close the R40 from their first ever debut single to their final track live ever. It's pretty heavy, man. It's heavy. It's heavy emotionally for me as a Rush fan. So I'm going to talk for a second before I talk a little bit about Anika and why she was chosen. Rush was the first big arena show I ever saw. Rush and Kansas at Madison Square Garden in 1985. It was the fall of 85, and I was 13 years old. And it was fucking mind-blowing. And I never thought that I would even get to see these bands that I dreamed of and heard in my bedroom and listened to on Walkman and vinyl. And then I saw Rush in successive years, 3 straight years in a row. yeah. Also, Roll the Bones and Presto, not their greatest records, but really fun tours, really great visuals, a lot of fun stuff. And yeah, just stellar stuff there for a teenager to get into. Rush made their biggest impact in the US. Through Cleveland, yeah, apparently the Midwest was very big with them. You know, Rush toured with Kiss, and Aerosmith, and they were booed off the stage a lot until they got their own identity, basically around record 2 and 3. But yeah, man, they almost gave up on that Kiss tour, and Kiss kept letting them. Kiss would not let people walk out on them. They were, telling people to come and stay and please enjoy and support this band that we like, you know? So I thought that was pretty damn neat. I got to be honest, for those two guys that I do give a lot of shit to all the time. So let's talk about Anika. So Rush 50, right? So let's talk about Anika for a second. Oh, I bet you didn't know that Geddy Lee was not the original bassist of Rush. It's actually Jeff Jones, who went on to be in Red Rider, Lunatic Fringe, I Know You're Out There, that guy, that band. That's also Tom Cochrane of Life is a Highway. I do Lunatic Fringe at karaoke a lot. So Jeff Jones, who also was a big star in his own right in Canada and the world, and is still playing with Tom Cochrane as his bassist and backup singer, was the original bassist of Rush. Technically, he also played in Ocean, which was kind of like a Christian Canadian rock band, soft gospel rock, and but yeah. So everybody knows the Rutsy story, but maybe a lot of people don't know about Jeff Jones, that Rush had a black guy in their band. So Anika, man, she's not only been toured with Jeff Beck, which he had. Imagine the fucking band that Jeff Beck had the last few years of his life with Anika on drums and Esperanza Spalding on guitar, on bass guitar. Good God. And so they picked her, and I thought for sure they were gonna, Portnoy was like campaigning for it for a long time. I think Mangini would have been a good choice, my man and buddy Ken Pierce of Piercing Metal told me that he thought it should be Mangini. It would make a lot of sense. Also, car alarm going off randomly at 11:21 p.m. in San Francisco. And then, I thought maybe Danny Carey of Tool. I do think that Tool is going to be busy next year making a new record, and probably will keep Danny busy. But, surely he would have done it. So I think by not picking a superstar, big brand name person, it actually helps them. And I'll tell you why. Because there's actually less pressure on her, because she's a world-renowned drummer. She's internet famous. She's 40-something, so she's not so much younger than them that they're not going to have any common ground to relate on as people. But I think not having a big name person kind of puts the onus back on Geddy and Alex as the center and leaves less room for critique, if that means anything. And I think that she will. Yes, my man, Dillinger, I will come on earlier either tomorrow or Thursday, I promise. I'm so sorry. Thanks for being here. And thank you for your input. If you did not get to answer your questions, drop a comment and I'll answer it, or feel free to jump in another time and DM me. So I think she's a very inspired choice. She's a university professor. She's a world-renowned drum teacher. She's an incredible drummer. Clearly, they've been jamming with her for months. I'm sure we're going to get some teaser videos of them in the studio jamming out the set. I'm sure the minute the first date of the tour happens, there's going to be a gajabillion videos on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and everywhere of her playing with them. I know that people will find fault. I know the misogynists and chauvinists out there are going to fucking hate on her. Why didn't they choose a guy? Why didn't they choose a white guy? Why did they choose her? They chose her because it was the smartest way forward to replace an irreplaceable person. A lot of bands have continued to go on with irreplaceable people. But like I said, my pick would have been Danny Carey. Mangini or Portnoy would have been great, but I see why they did what they did. There's also a ton of Thomas Bridgen, Marco Miniman. There's a million drummers who could do it. Anybody that auditioned for Dream Theater. Max Portnoy. I know he's busy with his band. So yeah, man, all of y'all, tell me how you feel about this Rush reunion. Is this going to set the tempo for other bands that have a member lost and they're going to just go out? I think we're never going to see Pink Floyd again the way it was. Roger and David cannot get along. David will continue to have he puts out more records like Luck and Strange. He can keep doing whatever he wants or nothing. I did feel like Rick was kind of irreplaceable. Dillinger had said earlier that he thought Todd Shukerman of Styx was Neil's best friend, would have been an appropriate guy. But I think, again, picking somebody too close to Neil is also probably not a thing they wanted to do. You know, they want to have their own identity as the two of them. They want to continue to be Rush. They're going to do everything to honor Neil. I wouldn't even be surprised if there's like some Bohemian Rhapsody, Neil's drum solo while the band takes an intermission or a break. Like, there's so much. They have so many DVDs, movies, and material to pull from. I absolutely could see it happening. And I'm actually happy about this. I think these guys have been robbed of the prime years of their life, over 10 years where they didn't make music together or do anything. Do I want a new album with Rush's name on it? Probably not. I think these shows will lead to probable European dates. Also, the schedule allows for them to go back to Europe next year also if they have time. And then I think you will see residencies in Las Vegas. This was talked about privately with me and my friends, that I think Rush will do the Sphere. They're the natural, obvious band to do the Sphere. They were like the first band to have laser lights and all kinds of crazy lighting and stuff. Laser strobes and different things all around the arena. They were innovative in their staging and stuff for three guys that just basically stood in a spot and, whittled. And, I think I wouldn't be surprised if they get a keyboard players. So Getty and Alex are freed up a little bit because they are getting up there. They're in their 60s, and it can't be easy to be making this music 50 years after you wrote it, 50 plus years, 50 something, right? So tell me how you feel about Rush coming back. I'm stoked, and I'm going to attempt to go to one of these shows next year. And I have not seen Rush since Test for Echo, maybe, or like Test for Echo was the last time I saw the band. So I really hadn't seen them in almost 20 something years, which is a bummer, but I would love to go see them one last time and see how, just for curiosity's sake, support them and see how it goes. And I do expect the tickets to be astronomical, and I do expect the reseller market to be just absolutely fucking horrible. And so if you're going to get these tickets, get in immediately when they go on sale if you can, and not get fucked by bots. And we'll see if Ticketmaster and Live Nation suffer the wrath of the U.S. government at some point. They're now being sued by the FTC. I'm Keefe at Ghost Cult. I might be back tomorrow. I definitely will be back Thursday. Thanks for watching this random late night on a Tuesday show. I'm going to shovel off. I got a long day tomorrow. Thanks for being here and supporting us always. GhostCultMan.com. I am Keefe. Thank you.